Thanks, sir.
தினேஷ் ரெடினா ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாம். கேமராமேன் ரெடிங்களா? ஃபைன்.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're very happy to welcome you all for the third day session of the international conference. We are very happy and delighted to have Mr. Ullas Raj, the alumni of SRMST, who have made SRMST in many occasions by heading the esports team to win the All India University tournament twice. Now at present he is working in DAF Trucks, Netherlands. A proud son of a physical education, Dr. Kumar from Alagappa University. Over to you, Mr. Ullas.
Good morning, everyone present here for this amazing event to discuss about the innovation in sports and yogic sciences. So today's session is going to be about the future of esports and how the competitive gaming is going to be in the future in the esports in the upcoming years. First, I would like to take a moment to thanks Dr. Mohankrishnan sir, Director SRMIST, for offering me this beautiful opportunity in this conference, and the co-convener Venkata Sastri, Director Career Center SRMIST. Thanks a lot, sir, and also the organizing secretaries, Dr. C. Suresh, Assistant Professor, sir, and Ganesh Kumar, Professor SRMIST, sir. Let me quickly go into the presentation. So is my screen visible? So can you confirm if my screen is visible? Sir, can you see my screen? So today's discussion is going to be innovation in esports and the future of competitive gaming. This is completely going to be an overview of how the competitive gaming is currently now evolving and how it is going to be in future with technologies that we are developing right now. Just a quick overview about me. I started my education with SRMIST in 2014. I did my bachelor's in computer science engineering and continued by a master's in information security and cyber forensics. And I started working in Tata Elxsi for a couple of years as a security analyst. I took a break to pursue a master's in management in the Netherlands in Maastricht University. Upon graduating, I'm working now as a commodity manager in DAF Trucks in the Netherlands. As Rajkumar sir mentioned, I'm privileged to say my parents are also from the physical education department, and thanks again for this wonderful opportunity for Directorate of Sports, SRMIST. So let's have a quick overview about the evolution of esports. We all know there's a lot of video games being played and a lot of competitive games going on, but we should know where it all evolved. The basic the game that set a stepstone for all of these esports were the starting of 10-bit games, and with the evolution of different gaming consoles, and we have gaming PCs. Now we are at a state we could even play a competitive gaming with a handheld device. So if you could see right now, Forbes report says there's 3 billion gamers worldwide doing competitive gaming. And the most popular games that we know, it's Counter-Strike, that's one among them. Even in the All India Inter-University games, Counter-Strike is one among them. And the League of Legends and Fortnite, that's the biggest played game in gaming consoles. I mean, upon coming to PCs, that also draw a lot of gamers online. And Valorant, that's another iteration of a first-person shooting game. It is more technical as Counter-Strike used to be. So digital sports, it's reshaping with every technology that's developing. We know artificial intelligence and augmented reality and virtual reality. So all of these developments, it reshapes how esports is done and how video games is being played with each of these developments. And if you can see an explosive growth, we all know COVID was a couple of years and we couldn't go outside. And there was a time the esports took a huge jump in terms of revenue. A lot of people started playing because they wanted to keep themselves engaged and active. It's a high stake environment. A lot of tournaments were started being organized in a remote manner rather than gathering in a particular venue. Fans come and teams play together, and that was a big step up even for the event organizers to organize esports in a hybrid manner. So the three main technologies that are effectively transforming esports are the virtual reality, the augmented reality, and the artificial intelligence. Let's have a quick overview about what virtual reality is doing these days. So, as I said, if there is another COVID or a pandemic, or we're all in a lockdown, and still events have to be continued, and gamers are still going to play tournaments, they're not going to gather in a specific venue. What virtual reality could do, it can give us an immersive experience, make the player sitting in a stadium or an indoor auditorium, giving him an immersive environment of fans sitting over there, giving him the spectator experience or the fans cheering for the team. And that is one among the use case in the esports. And this can also set up the games that are played via the conventional way of having a monitor for the display. Instead of that, a player could have a virtual reality like a VR goggles. So through that goggles, he's going to have an immersive experience rather than him sitting in front of a monitor to play that specific video game or the sport that he's going to play. And what is augmented reality? So augmented reality, it still looks real time. For example, I'm sitting in a room, and Pokemon Go is one of the best examples for augmented reality. It's a very simplistic mobile-based a game that also have some competitive atmosphere. But augmented reality gives you a real-time immersive experience with augmented characters or overlays or characters. It makes you feel like you're interacting with someone in the real life situation that is real time. So those are all the interactive elements that actually make the augmented reality and the virtual reality more user friendly and immersive experience. And artificial intelligence, and this is a huge topic to discuss because when you say artificial intelligence, the capabilities are actually sky high. It's endless. So I have come up with a simplified diagram on how it can contribute to this gaming environment or esports atmosphere. So one of the major use cases when, for example, the game is getting developed, so it has to be conceptualized, as in there has to be a use case of what this game has to offer to the players in the and for the esport community, and the production, the pre-production. So there has to be someone have to code these games or test these games to make sure the end user or the player who's gonna play it, it's good to go. So artificial intelligence can actually make these process super quick. Of course, it's gonna cut down the number of hours which a person is gonna work on it. And upon launching this game, there are certain elements. For example, like it has to be engaging with the community of the players, and you really want to know who are the target segments for those games or the players who's gonna play these games. So artificial intelligence is gonna do an interactive analytics, and it's gonna give us data and to see who are the major target segments and what are they looking out for. So it goes hand in hand, and AI is a predominant tool. And overall, it enriches the way esports is going on right now, and it's getting enhanced day by day. For example, every esport game has an anti-cheat client service, so that ensures the game is playing in a fair play. There is no malpractice involved. So it used earlier days. There's a set of codes that prevent players from injecting any malicious codes or preventing malpractice during a gameplay. But now what AI is doing, it keeps developing those anti-cheat services which a game could offer. So that's really a modern development that's happening, because when you go for a competitive gaming, fair play is something every player looks out for at the end of the day. So these are the three key technological innovations that's transforming esports into a different realm in the upcoming years. So this is an interesting topic, racing simulators. So I hope a lot of people who are watching this have an idea about racing simulators, and hope everyone knows what Formula One is. It's a very expensive motorsport in the world, and the equipment or the cars that they use, it's worth millions. And these days, to train the drivers who drive the actual F1 cars, they go through racing sim setup for, say, it's gonna give us the real-time experience. As you could see from a picture, the person who is sitting behind the simulator has multiple screens. So this is one of the setup, but the person could also use a virtual reality goggles to get an immersive experience as if he's really sitting inside a cockpit of an F1 car, and he's having his steering with the paddles and all of his feedback buttons. So this is one of the real world transitions. So the first game that literally made an esport player into a car racer, we all know it's the famous Gran Turismo game. And upon that, there's a lot of games that have been developed with actual cars that have been using in F1, and the steering wheels that we use. Logitech has different iterations, almost to produce close to real feedback what a driver would get from an F1 car when he drives. So one of the use cases that the racing simulators could offer, fine-tune a driver into a better equipped person when he goes for a real life transition. And this is one such scenario where an esport player could also see himself in the future to drive a competitive racing in the real world, because this is almost giving him a real-time experience, even though it's not giving him a real-time experience, but he could learn a lot of things about the simulation racing. And for now, even you look at the top racing teams like Ferrari or Mercedes, they also have Formula One integration. So they have before they jump into a driving school, all of the drivers, they go to a racing sim academy and they practice there with the simulators for years. And once they graduate from that particular simulation school, then they go to a real world atmosphere where they go drive with the real cars. So with the AI and the VR technologies that we have, racing sims are actually going to a different level. Handheld consoles. This is really another development that's been happening from a last few years. The base for all of the handheld consoles is the Game Boy and the 10-bit consoles that we used to play. And these consoles offer a handheld experience, but Game Boy is something that offered whatever games that you'll be playing in a PC in a portable manner. So you don't really have to have a PC or a display. All you need is a handheld console and a good Wi-Fi network. So a first all-functional handheld console where you can also do competitive gaming was the Sony PlayStation Portable. And it was a successful handheld console for almost a decade, and it was given up by Sony because the users, they were not able to pursue the same amount of user experience what they would have in a real a gaming console, for example, say PlayStation 3 or a 4 or a 5, because when you can see, you can't squeeze in a lot of controls into a handheld portable device. So that's one of the limitations when you go into these handheld consoles. Gaming on the go is one of the use cases that makes life easy, but competitive gaming is pretty much limited in terms of these practical usabilities. So how these handheld consoles are evolved right now in 2024. So one you could see is for example, like ASUS has its version of the handheld console. It's called ROG Ally, and Lenovo has its own. So each, the PC vendors, they are coming up with their own portable handheld consoles. And Steam Deck, on the other side, it's a really innovative a piece of engineering, because most of the PC games are offered by Steam that we all know. But Steam comes up with an own handheld console. So what's special in it? So you don't really have to have a PC or a display or a keyboard or anything. All you need is a Steam Deck, and you can pretty much do a competitive gaming right from your palms. So let it be a FIFA tournament. You can actually play a FIFA tournament because they support cross-platform between other consoles. For example, you can also compete with another player playing from a PlayStation or a PC. And when you can look at the dock from the picture just above the ASUS ROG Ally, so this literally eliminated the need for a big PC or a laptop that has to be connected to a monitor. So it has the same SoC architecture inside. You don't need a PC or a huge machine that you have to carry every time you go to a tournament, or just going to a friend's place for a competitive gaming. All you need to carry is the small handheld console and the dock. From that, you can either connect to a beamer or a monitor to play your games. So we are right now in a fast-moving pace of the handheld consoles. This is really beautiful to see, because when you build a PC, you really have to go for a good graphic card and a lot of big machines, and this is pretty much eliminating all of those. So mobile esports that we all know, with the Battlefield PUBG, that's been evolving right from the last 5 or 6 years. So even these handheld consoles can also support the mobile esports. Even though the competitive atmosphere in the mobile esports is not a lot of games that could offer, but still it's a tremendous amount of players that they play esports with these handheld consoles these days. So what innovations it could actually do in terms of streaming and the fan experience? Of course, when a game is being played, that is the spectators watching at the other end. So how could these innovations could actually improve those experience? The real-time interaction. So nowadays, when the players they play, they have a real-time experience on the dashboard because they want an interactive experience. For example, there are some games where you could learn. For example, that is a game that based on hacking. I don't exactly remember the name of the title, but it actually is a game that is developed to support people who are studying ethical hacking or an information security person or student who's studying. So that provides real-time interaction. You interact with another person who's playing like a co-op, and also you interact with the game interface itself. So these are all like the recent innovations that's being done. So one use case that you study something, and the other use case, the study process, it's being done in a very beautiful way that you play a game and you learn all of that in the process. And what is VR streaming? So as I previously saw, like the VR could actually give you an immersive experience. What can it do to a fan or a spectator who want to watch these events? So, of course, going to events involves a lot of travel. You go to a common place, you socialize with a lot of people. If you don't want to do it, you still can buy a VR goggle. You can sit at your house at your comfort and put on your goggles. It's gonna feel like you're in a stadium watching these shows as a fan. That's the immersive experience what VR could offer these days. So you don't really have to allocate time to go for a certain event to a stadium. So that is one. And the next one is the AI driven predictions. So back in time when as SRM, like we were the first ones, I'm honored to say, we went for the All India tournament for the Counter-Strike. So we had to go for someone who can coach us as a team. Because you would never know what you're doing right or wrong when you play as a group. You always need someone as a coach to enhance your skill sets or train you guys in a way to make you competitive. So what AI could do in these situations, it could be your realistic mentor. It could evaluate your gameplay and let you know, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, and it gives you a stats where exactly you're lacking and where you have to improve in terms to get yourself to a competitive layer. So this is another layer that could add to the games or the competitive environment. So this supports a competitive society in terms of they enhancing themselves to be a better person. And also predictions mean AI knows, I mean, it's a machine learning, so it's going to learn on its own when it watches a gameplay or what's happening. So it could also anticipate like a prediction score when the game is still happening. So that again puts a new layer of excitement for the people who actually watch the esports. It could give us just like how we watch the cricket matches. It literally shows what are the weak sides of the batsman who's batting. Either he's got a very low percentage on his offside or the leg side. So that could pretty much the same application in the esport environment as well. Let it be any game that he plays, like FIFA or Counter Strike. When we talk about all of these innovations, we definitely have to look at like the economic impact and what are these innovations and these domains has career opportunities in esports. So basically, when these games have to be played, it has to be developed. So game developers are one of the key roles in the video game industry. So they are the ones who develop these interactive or the competitive games to keep the society active. So that is one. And the next one is the broadcasters or the shoutcasters. So we're not going to dive deep into what exactly is going on into the development because we're just going to see what are the possible career opportunities in terms of the competitive esports. So when an esport or any sort of a video game is getting competitive and it's getting telecasted, you need someone to broadcast or cast what exactly is going on. Because when you watch a cricket without a commentator or commentary, it's pretty much not as immersive as it is when you watch it with a beautiful commentary. So that is one of a career opportunity in these days in esports and team management. As I said, um, you really want to put together, for example, you're going to play a Valorant or Counter Strike, any FPS game, a team of 5. You have to put together the best skill set possible in order to get your team very competitive. So there comes the coach. Even though you have AI to help you enhance your skill sets, but you definitely need someone as a coach or a manager. So that is someone a very possible opportunity in the esports domain right now. And the tech experts, they again fall into the developing or behind the scenes who help these games evolve. So a simple use case that we could see is like once the game starts developing, from the development to the production and also its release, there are various roles contributing to this growing industry. All of these can consider a big career opportunity. You can also turn tables around. You can be a successful player, and you can also find yourself a full-time career as an esport player as well. That is pretty much possible. So what these could do, we saw AI, we saw VR, and we saw augmented reality. So when we integrate these into existing games, how it can be as immersive or like how it can do. For say the picture on the right side, imagine it's a rocket football that we're playing. It's one of the famous video game. It's not so heavy. It's a very uh, lightweight game in terms of the package, but we all need certain keyboard and mouse to play it. But imagine you have a VR goggles and you still want to play rocket football. You can also make use of the driving simulator in order to operate those cars in the rocket football. So the limit for the integration these technologies into the existing games are actually endless. So hybrid events, that is again the future, because right now we see ESL hosting a lot of tournaments across the globe where fans come, like thousands of fans gather at a place, and teams accommodate there. And now one of the main cases these ESL hosts these games in a physical manner is make sure the fair play is getting implemented, because you would never know what the player is up to unless you are inspecting or proctoring them during the gameplay. So with AI coming into these games or the anti-cheat services, it keeps evolving every other day. So if you can assure like 100% anti-cheat service with these technologies, there is no need to put in a person in a physical venue to organize these sports. So in the upcoming years, we're going to see a lot of events like these happening virtually rather than happening physically. So that's why I meant it's hybrid, because for some games you still need physical places like a venue or a stadium to host it, because you can't really host a racing sim at a house unless a player has its own simulator. That's still a question mark of feasibility. So, and also blockchain technology. So why, you might think, why are we even looking at blockchain technology when we talk about future of esports? So when a person plays a game, any game it can be, there is always an in-game shop where you could buy vinyls or any sort of skins or some sort of like a theme that you could buy to enhance your gaming experience. There's always some sort of monetization involved. So what blockchain could do in terms of securing the data that you use for, say, your critical data like your name, email, or the banking numbers. So blockchain could make sure the purchase stays safe, and it also opens new engagement opportunities for the revenue streams, because there are still a lot of players who are hesitant because most of the times there is a breaches happening. It's a lot of games that has breaches, data breaches, because of vulnerability in those payment gateways, or we can not comment anything on it, but this could ensure a safe feeling for the players who are using those video games or doing in-game purchases. So blockchain could really enhance the process that way. So the next level immersion of VR. So we have seen VR and AR. What is MR? So MR is a mixed reality. It's pretty much combining all of those available reality or the technologies that we have right now. So VR is basically creating a new way or an immersion experience for the player. Mixed reality is when it combines both the VR and the AR technology together, and on top of that, it could be anything on the game level or the user experience that could actually make the virtual environment more enhancing. So it's really reshaping the video game landscape these days, but the immersion for both players and spectators can be done in the same stage, I would say. These technologies these days, they're not only enhancing how a gaming is done or the gaming experience is getting done, it's revolutionizing how the people or the spectators who watch these games and consume esports content. We're just going to look at like few the products that we have in the market right now respective to VR experience. So one is MetaQuest. So Meta came up with their own goggles of the VR experience. So that is MetaQuest 3. It already supports a lot of games like Population 1 and Beat Saber. This is one of the as close it is like the production device that you could get in the market right now. So this has a lot of mixed reality capability. For example, you can also pair up your controllers, or you can also pair up with your existing PC or the gaming accessories that you have. So you can still use your MetaQuest as just an immersive display for your game, and you can just use your controllers as you always do when you play it, and still you get the immersive experience and very close with the gaming environment. So we're actually pushing the boundaries both in terms of virtual experience and also mixed experience every other day. So also the game developers, they are coming with new features getting added to these games or the gaming experience in terms of the MetaQuest device. So the next one is the Apple. So what is Apple doing when compared to the other VR devices that we have in the market? So they're actually working a lot on enabling their patented Vision Pro technology. So we all know, it has some sort of health hazard when you use some displays like this. We also have some literature, but we're not going to discuss um, deep dive into the health hazards of the VR right now. But the interactive features that they have, we all know Apple is meant for their stunning displays. So they are working on something very close what a human eye could actually witness in terms of the Vision Pro. So this again is kind of a mixed reality. So what I mean is mixed reality. So you can actually see through when your goggles, for example, you're in your bedroom and you want to have like an augmented reality of a racing simulator in front of you wearing those goggles, but you're not going to have a racing simulator in front of you, but you still going to simulate one in terms of a mixed reality, and you can experience that sort of a close to a real life experience in terms of even gaming with these goggles. So those are the interactive features and what Vision Pro could offer in terms of a competitive experience. So these are already rapidly evolving in terms of how we are going to play the games. So right now we don't really have, or say, Valorant or Counter-Strike or Call of Duty getting really competitive with the VR goggles. We're not seeing a lot of players who are using these, but down the line, maybe a couple of years more, once we get a very reliable gaming updates with those integration with the VR goggles, it's going to be a new sort of a new era, because that's going to eliminate people from buying expensive PCs. Then it's going to switch people to buy more VR accessories or VR goggles, because they do have a powerful processor inside. And why someone is going to buy a conventional PC when they could afford VR goggles? But right now, the feasibility of it's a bit skeptical because of the investment or the prices that these goggles were sold. But on the future, it can also turn the tables around and bring a new, different approach towards the video games. So, what is the hybrid reality competitions? How does it blend the digital and physical worlds? So we know the hybrid tournaments are being held in a both standard procedure and also in the virtual atmosphere. The fans can actually attend these sports events in virtual arenas. For example, there was one such experience happened with the La Liga football, where people always run out of tickets. They miss the tickets of witnessing their favorite footballer playing in a specific venue. So they simulated the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, where you could download the package of that stadium and put it in your VR goggles. So you put on your goggles, sit in your home, you're going to watch the live match that's happening, but you're not anywhere near the stadium, but you're inside your house, but you're getting a real life experience. That's why I say it's blending both digital and physical worlds, because something is happening in a real life and you're integrating that with your technology. That's really interesting. And the future potential, let's keep it very close to esports, but I could think of this one potential where I've seen across the literature where a doctor from China operating another person in another location of the globe just by using a VR goggles. So that's really very immersive, and the potential of expanding these technologies, it's limitless. So these are all the facts that we have already saw. But what are the challenges and opportunities when you implement these in an esport environment? So you talk about any sports, that is one constant hurdle that you have to keep in mind. It has to be a healthy environment for the players who play with these technologies. So far, there's been a lot of study that's being done on these topics. But one such technological hurdle is the highest cost investment for these devices. And another one is the health hazard, because a lot of people climb, they kind of feel some dizziness, or they kind of feel that a headache after using the goggles for continued number of hours, for say like 6 or 7 hours straight. But that's not something you experience when you use a conventional monitor or a gaming monitor to play your games. And training and safety, because these devices are new to the market, and there is no standard operating procedure that's being done. So there's also a risk. Even kids may get these goggles and play the games that are addressed for kids, but they really need some adaptation and some sort of a physical safety training. That is something really needed, because as an adult you would know that how to use certain things, but that is something, an hurdle that I see from my perspective. And the growth potential is really possible only when the cost of these goggles come into a feasible scenario. As I previously mentioned, the future is completely going to be in an virtual reality and the augmented reality blending in together. So when these costs decrease, that we are going to see a lot more change in how these games are going to be played, and that is again a switch that's going to happen. For say, we know that the Game Boy was there, then PSP. Now it's Steam Deck, and now there's going to be another shift in the devices that we're going to use, and the transformation is really happening. The way we play and the spectating and the immersive and the interactive experience. And with continued these developments that's happening, it's redefining the gaming and global fan engagement. So when I say it's redefining, because there are some gamers that they are doing it full time. They're pursuing a full time career of being an esports player, and they still interact with their fan base or their team. So these things can actually redefine the way things are getting done, and engaging in dialogue about the future is actually crucial because these technologies they are in the market, like created for making it very accessible and giving us engaging experience. So potentially, these are the ones that are literally revolutionizing the entire industry right now. So that's pretty much it. We have seen how esports could be a game changer with the technologies that's been available these days. Really, thank you everyone who's available here, and thank you again, Srmist, for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah. Yes. Ah,
Plus, can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Sir, I can hear you, but your voice is echoing, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for presenting the topic. The speakers of the past have been benefited by a valuable. Thank you.
yes.
Thank you, Ulas. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, sir.
My dear
Thank you.
boys and girls, tea is ready, snacks is ready. We shall have the tea and snacks and come back for the paper presentation. You have to be ready. 10:30 we shall start the. Dr. Luis, sir, where are you? Yeah, you'll be the chairperson for this session.
Good morning. Good morning, one and all. Good morning to the dignitaries of the dais. I am the research scholar pursuing my PhD under the guidance of Dr. Louis Raj. My topic is about latest approach in analyzing sports performance. It's a qualitative study. I am not going to present any. Here the experts have discussed about the future of physical education and sports. I reviewed few of the sports technology used in various sports performance enhancement. Mainly, this should be used at the grassroots level, means at school level, for school physical education teachers. All these things which I have reviewed will be a basic things, but it was the advanced thing in the school level, because at school level, the physical education teachers and physical education directors were not aware of these such a things. Frank to be, we are not also using those things in the school level. So it has to be implemented from there. Yeah, introduction. Shall I come down, sir? Yes. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir, sure, sir. Sports science and other broad areas of modern life has become significantly impacted by technology advancement. The primary goal of this academic qualitative study was to look into modern technologies, how the technology affects the sports performances. The researcher find number of new ideas in using in the field of sports and games, making game easier to develop performance and providing correct decision through the technology. Through this, we can able to decide and give decision perfectly to the players. It will not be biased. Performance analysis is a subject discipline of sports science research that has attained greatest interest for many coaches, technical staffs, performance analysts, and players at different level of performances. The uses, athlete development. By dissecting the athlete performance by frame, video analysis can assist athlete in pinpointing the areas of development. Coach and athlete communication. We can use in both versions. Video analysis can help the coaches to communicate with their team, providing visual examples of errors and areas for improvement. Through video analysis, we can able to easily find out the errors of during performing. We can use it for opponent strategies. Teams can study video footages of previous game with this present game and how far we can able to improve. Like that, training plans. Also, we can go with training plans. Next slide, please. There are some wearable sports devices available. First one is GPS trackers. Helps the coaches and the athletes to understand movement pattern by informed decision to optimizing performance. Heart rate monitors. We can able to check the heart rate during high intensity interval training or any type of training methods. We can, so that by knowing the heart rate, we can able to fix the intensity of the players according to their need. Motion sensors used in track athlete movements include acceleration, deceleration, and changes in direction. This helps in understanding the athlete's agility and responsiveness. The quickness can be censored by using motion sensors. Accelerometers, the rate of change in velocity, providing data on how quickly an athlete speed can slow down. This information particularly used in sports like football, basketball, rugby, where explosive and speed quickness is needed. For those games, we can use these accelerometers. Wearable cameras, particularly used in American football and ice hockey. It will be placed in the helmets of the players. Smartwatches and fitness bands. These smartwatches and fitness bands are versatile wearables in the track, wide range of metric, including it. Through this equipment, we can able to measure how many steps most of them most of us we are using this technology now. Not only sports person, a common person also using, but it should be used for athlete performance at the grassroots level in the school teachers, so that they can able to analyze the movement of the students. Yeah, this is the speed gun. We can able to see this in the roadside traffic police also. It measures the bowling speed, swing speed of the bat, speed of the baseball pitch, and used in tennis serves. Sneakometers. The motion sensing microchip has been placed in every Adidas ball used in Euro 2024. It tracks the every touch of 500 times per second. Sneakometer in cricket, composed of very special sensitive microphone located in one stumps and bats, connected with oscilloscopes that measures the sound waves. Through that, we can accurately decide whether the ball touches the bat or not. Hockey. This technology is mostly widely used in many sports. For example, cricket, even in snookers. Uses slew number of cameras placed around the ground, aligned under the stadium roof to generate three-dimensional representation of the trajectory of the ball. This is an example for hockey, which is used in a snooker. Next slide. In tennis, in cricket. We mostly see in cricket, but in other games also we are using hockey. Yeah, stumps with mics and camera. Utilized too closely to broadcast batsman view on the pitch. The camera is vertically aligned in the hollow middle stumps. A small window on the sides of, we can able to see that in the picture. It will be in the middle stumps, so that we can able to easily assess the movement of batsman for every ball spin RPM. We have speed gun for medium fast bowlers and fast bowlers, but for spinners, they will be analyzing the revolution per minute, how the ball spins after it has been released from the hand. LED stumps and dials. When the ball touches the stumps, the LED lights starts to glow, so that we can make an accurate decision whether the bails has been dislodged from the stumps. Yeah, this is the spider camera, the system that enables cameras to move vertically and horizontally in the defined area. We can able to see in all IPL matches and others. Video assisted referees. It is the most versatile thing used in football to analyze the penalty and goals. Yeah. Next one is a software available. It is notational analysis software. The softwares like Sports Code, Dratfish, Knack Sports, all this we can able to analyze the video to split, and we can able to measure the performance and enhance the performance. Kinova, a video annotation tool that allows user to capture, slow down, compare, annotate, and measure the motions of videos. In Play Online, software that allows to share feedback such as annotations, comments, and voice notes. Yeah, the uses of that are, it helps in critical pattern and event performance to lead successful outcomes. The software helps in a successful outcome, identifying the strength and weakness of the players, designing training programs, decreasing the risk of injuries, making informed decisions, used by coaches and sports scientists to gather objectives, data in the performance of athletes. Technique, tactics, individual athlete movement, and work rate can be analyzed, so that we can able to plan our training pattern and periodization according to their fitness level and performance level of the players. Yeah, another software, very easily accessible through our mobile phones, Coach Eye. There is a subdivisions in that. First one is video scrubbing. we can able to scrub the video forward or backward at different speeds, use slow motion frame by frame and playbacks so that we can accurately spot out where the mistakes are done, where we have to correct the mistakes. Side by side comparison, we can compare two different videos performed by a single person. Which one is better? For example, while a player is playing in nets, while he is playing in the ground, we can compare these two. But many players can play easily, perform better in nets, but it will be hard for them to play in the match conditions. So that it will be useful for us. We can share the videos and get comments. Drawing tool uses draw lines and arrow directly. We can see that in hockey. File management. We can import the file and use for future purposes. A conclusion. Sports technology advancement in recent years have produced a wide range of products to improve the boost and athletic performance. With this, we can able to enhance the performance of the athletics. In real, technology is becoming indispensable component of modern sports and play significant role in them. Technology also enables the instrument to guarantee its peak performance. With this technology, we can guaranteedly peak our performance, and it reduces the chances of injuries. Therefore, the demand of sport should be raised in parallel in performance values. This is the key point of my qualitative research. Coach and physical educators should be familiar with latest technology used in today's sports. And most of the coaches were familiar with these technologies, but we are, as I am working in a school as a physical director, even from the zonal level, district level, and state level, we are very much lacking in making decisions and other things, because I will go for my students when it is favor for me. That can be avoided through this software. I can justify anything for the welfare of my students. We cannot able to spot the errors. So in schools, mainly in schools, the children of BSc Physical Education may have come over these problems. In schools, we have to implement these basic softwares and use these technologies for uplift the students in sports and sports. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you. That was a wonderful presentation. You have opened the eyes of the girls who have been sitting there. I just told to keep your mouth shut. 2 நிமிஷம் அமைதியாக இருக்க முடியாது அப்படின்னா நோய் பேச்சுங்க. உனக்கு எதாவது பேசினா ஸ்டேஜுக்கு வந்து பேசு. ஒருத்தர் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு, நோய் பேசினா எப்படி பண்ணுவாங்க சொல்லுங்க. ஒரு டிசிப்ளின், ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்லாம் என்னமா அர்த்தம்? டிசிப்ளின். குவைட்டாக இருக்கு. நான் 2 தடவை திரும்பி பார்த்து சொன்னேன்ல, குவைட்டாக இருக்கு சொன்னேன்ல. ஏன் இருக்க முடியாது உங்களால்? 2 நிமிஷம் வாய மூடிட்டு இருக்க முடியாது உங்களால்? தேங்க்யூ செல்லப்பா. I request the second speaker from IIT to present the paper.
Very good morning to all, respected dais and various participants for the other university, the well-wishers. So now, today, I will take for historical analysis tennis in champions in Olympic Games 2004 to 2024. So, sorry. The studies aims Olympic tennis singles champions between 2004 2024 facing nationality. The particularly this surface, what are the surface we can use going to the past 2 decades, what are the surface they will be introduced, how to implement in the Olympic, will be see one by one. Introduction, please. The tennis made retain Olympic Games 1988 after 64 years absent. Totally 20 years will be absent in since growing most easily event in dedicational only sports performance global stage, but all single will be discuss about the single players about this introduction. We are discussing about the singles player. What are the singles players in followed? Next, please. Methodology will go. Yeah. The methodology for the study is selection of analysis data, the single champions, both men and women's tennis for 6 Olympic Games between 2004 and 2024. The research employs the quality research designs along with systematic examining for measurable data. The research focuses on 3 primary areas. The first, provide top performance players. For the top performance players, the impact players surface. What are the surface? We will be discussing the hard court, grass and clay court analysis, understanding how different condition may be influence outcomes the matches. The third, the study investigation players constant and dominance by identify repeat competition and combined success across multiple Olympic Games. The data was collected official Olympic record in other sources for tennis history. By aspect, studies aim provide competitiveness overview faster in 2 decades. The result, please, the result, please sir, result. The result, up, come up, yes. The result you will see, any ideas? We are using for 2008 Athens hard court will be using the following the players. The 2008 International Tennis Center, the same hard court will be used. 2012 London, the club usually grass will be used. Then 2016, the same will be hard court will be used. That is no matter. Though hard court, clay court, the three types of courts will be used in this Olympic Games. Who's the top in the singles, that is for this research. The men singles, winning 2012 and 2016, emphasizing the Pursuer's different surface ability to handling the high performance. So various clay court they will be training, as well as they give the high performances. So back to back, the hand removers in the top in 20 decades. That is what this historical research will be pointed to. I bring it to your ideas. Then will we go for last one. The conclusion, come to conclusion. The overall studies relevant how Olympic tennis constant evaluate and further conclusion of this studies method Olympic champions were their success important carries how could help improve coaching status in promote tennis wild win. So that is for the how to not only for using for this tennis. So example, so before the conclusion. So in example, some other sport also will be surface will be today will be entire will be changes. Example, the squash. You know, before we will play for the cement surface. Now will be used wood, and be upcoming for the glass. So Olympic, you know, before even Chennai will be last 4 years before will be conducting for the Olympic Games, na? So yes, they will be conducting the wooden will be converted for the glass, fiber glass we can use. The TT board before will be used in wooden. Now so many variety of tables will be introduced in the market. At the same, the badminton, you know, before will be using these things. That is what this what will be conclusion. So how to train the people to will be perform in the great achievement of in upcoming wherever in South Zone or whatever it is. So this is what will be our conclusion. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Jayvel. We have Ms. Kanchana from MCA College to present a paper.
Namaste and a warm good afternoon to all of you. I'm Kanchana. I'm a research scholar from YMCA College of Physical Education, doing under the eminent guidance of Glory Ma'am. So this is my first year. And here I'm going to present a paper which I have studied about the influence of competitive versus recreational sports on cognitive flexibility and decision-making skills, especially in adolescent age. So I am heading the sports department at DAV group of schools. DAV caters around 30,000 students across Tamil Nadu. So we have different branches, not only in Chennai, in various other places also. So the study, we have mainly focused on the adolescent age category students between the age group of 15 to 18 years. So having come across the various age groups in school students, so the main important study here is how the effect of competitive sports and recreational sports. As being a sports person, I think all of us would have definitely known the difference between a competitive sport and a recreational sport. Yes, so competitive sports is wherein the students are particularly trained for a competition to participate in some inter-school or inter-district competition or in a state level or national level competitions. So there, obviously, all of us will agree that the pressure on the students are more and they are automatically exposed to a lot of challenges around them. Whether a recreational sports is a sport where they just play for the fun, just for entertainment, and of course, fitness will be definitely improved. But there is less stress, okay? There is less responsibility from the students. Whereas in competitive sports, we give more importance for the training and all that, for the result. It's more result oriented. And as we all of us always agree that sports definitely plays a lot of role in building up one's overall personality. It's not just the physical fitness or just to come out of obesity or just to come out of a disease. Definitely sports is not like that. More than that, it helps in the intellectual development of a child, emotional development of a child, and also the cognitive and other related components. So we have known a lot of competitive sports person in India like Virat Kohli and Sindhu or even Pragnananda. All these people, as we see their life history, it is not just sports have given them a status. It is not just financial support. It has given them a system of life. It has given them a purpose in their life. So that is what sports does. So here I have just defined the cognitive flexibility, decision making. Cognitive flexibility is the ability of a child to adapt to any new situations and then take decisions according to that new situation. That is cognitive flexibility. So flexibility in situations. So decision making, as we all know, right from waking up, we take a lot of decisions in every day. So around 10,000 decisions we take every day in our life. So right from waking up, what dress to wear, what to eat, where to go, what to do, whether to do this or not, all this are decision making. So we can say one's overall success mainly depends on what decisions we make. So decision making is another important skill which I have studied here. And I think I've already explained competitive and recreational sports. So this is the study, like how competitive sports influence decision-making and cognitive flexibility in children. The same way, how recreational sports influence this cognitive flexibility and decision-making. The next slide, please. So the main objective of this study is, as I said, how these two influences, how this competitive and recreational sports help them in the overall personality development of a child. The next slide, please. So once if we get a clear idea of this study, we will be definitely able to frame a curriculum like what to impose more on children, whether just the recreational sport or we have to push them more to the competitive sport. So based on the result of the study, we can definitely intensify our curriculum also. So there are certainly 3 types of students whom we can see in the regular, in a school atmosphere. The children, those who does not play at all, those who even sit in the PT periods, those who do not even attempt to play any sport. And there are one group of children, those who try to play, but they're not of very competitive type, just to play, enjoy in that moment, that is it. The another set of children are the ones who pick up any sport very seriously and they give in a rigorous training and all that. So my study is between the second and the third group. Those who just take up any recreational activity and those who take up sports very seriously. So these findings will also definitely help the coaches to enhance their training approaches, how they have to formulate their own training approaches. And also these policy makers, like there are a lot of private organizations which plan our curriculum now. So these policy makers can also shape their syllabus based on this study. So we have selected around 120 adolescents here, especially age group between 15 to 18 years, 60 girls and 60 boys, in that 30 in each category from the competitive sports and the recreational sports. And we have divided them into groups. And the instruments what we have used is for the cognitive flexibility. I have used the cognitive flexibility in inventory. The questionnaire has been distributed to the students. We have collected a physical response and we have conducted the study. And for decision making, Melbourne decision making questionnaire has been issued and we have collected the response of the student, and then we have collected the data and did the statistics. And we have divided like 60 students into 5 to 6 groups, each consisting of 10 to 12 students. Then we have physically distributed the questionnaire after collecting their acceptance and all that. So based on that, I've done this. And this analysis is, we have used the software SPSS 25. And this analysis of variance has also been done. So these are the results. As we see in cognitive flexibility, we have two important aspects like alternatives and controls. So alternative is the ability to take multiple solutions, to approach multiple solutions for one problem. That is alternatives. And this control is to how to actually implement, even in given challenges, within the given challenges, how they can implement whatever solutions they have taken. So in both these alternatives and subscale, these competitive athletes, as you can see in the data, they have scored more. Both the competitive athletes have shown more, that has more impact on the students rather than the recreational athletes. And in decision making, vigilance is one skill. Vigilance, as you all know, it is a clear decision making. If you have a solution, if you have a problem, like I have to take up a training program, like you have to just explore what was done last year, previous year, what was the result, which was a success, which was a failure, and based on all this, they will take a decision. That is vigilance decision making. Whereas this hypervigilance is taking a decision half-assed, like in very hurried manner, without discussing what are the pros and cons. That is hypervigilance. And buck passing is just postponing the decisions, okay, not able to take any decision, just postponing the decisions, and or passing the responsibility towards others. If you are a leader, you have to take a decision and see that it is implemented among the students. So rather than that, if you're not able to take a decision, you just pass it to others, saying that I'm not responsible, you have to take it. This committee has to do, that committee has to do. So that is buck passing. Procrastination is simply postponing the decision. Today is not a good day, not an auspicious day, tomorrow we'll do, or next week, next month. Like that, just postponing the decisions. So as you see in the decision making, so vigilance is a positive skill. Okay, we should have more of vigilance. And hypervigilance, buck passing, and procrastination, these three are negative aspects. So as you all can see, the competitive athletes have more of vigilance and less of hypervigilance, buck passing, and procrastination. That is what the study says. Whereas the recreational athletes had more of less of vigilance and more of hypervigilance, buck passing, and procrastination. Yeah, next. And this is again the same data I've given in the bar diagram. Next one. So as per the key findings, we can see the structured sports, if we train the students in a structured environment, giving them all the pressures like in a competitive environment, definitely it will help them to improve their cognitive flexibility also. In the same way, the decision-making skills also will be improved if they are in a more competitive environment rather than the recreational environment. So as we all see again, because in a competitive environment, we already expose them to a lot of pressure. Like when you start a race, before how your heart beats, you can feel the pressure, the audience watching, the timing, what you have to complete and all that. Or in that pressure, you are going to perform. So that molds them definitely in a better way, rather than just playing some minor games within a team. Or so in a classroom environment. So this is the study, this is the findings. So definitely in a competitive environment, the children, their personality, overall development will be better than in a recreational sport. So again, the enhanced, when they are in a competitive environment, they better adapt themselves to a given situation. Even if 100 problems come, they are able to solve. So that is the quality that they develop, and also the decision making. Like every success and failure depends only on the decision, the right decisions taken on the right time. So competitive sports will definitely help them to take the right decisions. Thank you, sir.
Do you have any questions?
May I know how you have collected the data for the analysis?
We have given the questionnaires physically.
Questionnaire,
We have taken a
survey
printout.
form.
Yeah, we have given them physically the questionnaires and asked them to fill out.
What are the ages you have taken for that to taking the survey?
15 to 18, ma'am, from 10, 11, 12 students.
Okay, fine.
Approximately. Thank you. Thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We are very much delighted to have Dr. Rajini Kumar as our guest speaker for today's third day international conference. The most talented and admirable professor in the classroom, a technician with broad knowledge and vast experience in the biomechanics lab, the musician with innovative, modern and fresh thoughts to regenerate the sports fraternity, that is Dr. Rajini Kumar. Did his BA History from Laila College, MSc Psychology from University of Madras, MSc Sports Biomechanics from Tamil Nadu Sports University, MPS from Annamalai University, MPhil from YMCA College of Field Education, and Doctor of Philosophy in Tamil Nadu Field Education and Sports University. As a position held at Sports University as Associate Professor in the Department of Exercise Physiology and Biomechanics. And he has received a grant from the Tamil Nadu Planning Commission, that is 13.122 crores from the government. I think he is the first person in India to get a government aid as in crores. It's very difficult to get even in lakhs from the government, but he has received nearly 14 crores from the government of Tamil Nadu, and he has set up a beautiful lab in Sports University. I request the girls and boys who are seated here, you can use the lab in the biomechanics lab. Please, sir, you can just raise up and show your face to the girls and boys. He's such a wonderful personality in the field of physical education and sports. He's a scientist, He should use his ideas and knowledge to become an international player. And he's a qualified hockey India level 2 certified coach. And he has a lot of international exposure. He has presented papers in biomechanical analysis of penalty corner drag flex in the field hockey at the international conference held at Auckland. And he has published many books which are very useful for the physical education students, and he has received plenty of awards. Certificate of appreciation from introducing sports scholarship and cash incentive to the students in the Achievers Day in the 2018 and 19. Recipients of Star of Laila Award for outstanding performance in sports during the year 2000. Recipient of Food Corporation of India Sports Scholarship, qualified for Junior JRF from University Grants Commission during the years 7 to 10. And he has, as a curriculum designer in field education and sports sciences, he was a member of the Board of Studies of Sports Sciences in Reva University, Bangalore, international expert in curriculum design for affiliation course of study in Jaffna, curriculum design committee member of the University of Mumbai for sports biomechanics, designed the curriculum for MSc Sports Biomechanics and pioneered in offering MSc Sports Biomechanics and kinesiology course of study in India since 2008. Sir, please, your stage is yours.
Good morning, all of you. So I thank SRM, Department of Physical Education and Sports Science, and Department of Computing for organizing such an international conference where I can call it as confluence. Confluence அப்படின்னா தமிழில் சங்கமம் அப்படிம்பாங்க. ஸோ சங்கமம் அப்படின்னா இட்ஸ் மீட்டிங் சொல்லலாம், இல்லை கன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ்னா சங்கமம்னு சொல்லலாம். So what I would say is that I am standing before you. Before I start, I would like to thank both the department for organizing such a conference where we can interact and discuss about the current scenario and future perspectives. So how many of you cannot follow Tamil? யாருக்கெல்லாம் தமிழ் தெரியாது? Okay, fine. So I am standing before you. I think most of the girls are from sports and computing department. Fine. So here, this area, I know. So I am standing before you as I started my career as a hockey player. At the age of 15, I came to Chennai, 400 kilometers away from Chennai, my native is. So about 30 years back, I came to Chennai with the dream of playing for the country. And having played to certain extent nationals and state and university, inter-university competitions, my basic was history. I studied BA history. And then I turned towards physical education and sports science. But now I am recruited in engineering and science. I am teaching engineering. So no one will believe. So why I am telling you this is not new. This is not new. Only in our country and some of the places, people say, do you have science background? You are from arts, right? And people say, you are from science background, you do not know arts. So this is inbuilt, right? Art of science and science of art. Art of science and science of art. So that is what the real world is, okay? So let us see how this art of science and so this is the terminology I think you would have undergone or heard about all these for the past, including these 3 days. Computer vision, VR, AR, artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? Robotics, wearable sensors. Then finally, right? Data analytics from Department of Computing. Okay, so what we hear is all are the technological terminologies. What it conveys. So finally, Internet of Things also. So art of science and science of art. It's a confluence. In our day-to-day life, we convey the art in a scientific form and we express science in an artistic way. கலைநயத்தோட ஒரு அறிவியல் நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்கன்னா உண்மையான நீங்கள் தான் ரியல் சயின்டிஸ்ட். Why science is not reaching to the end community? Sir, I am not interested in science. Everybody has the knowledge. That means the science teacher did not take the information to an understandable way to the student. So he takes the gap. Why you are not interested in arts? The science in art has to be extracted and has to be transformed to the end users. So there is a science in the art, there is an art in the science. So we'll see in the 15th century, the biology, right? The fetus inside the mother's womb, right, is shown. This is a science, but this is depicted by an artist. Unless the artist knows the science, he cannot depict the picture. Similarly, the bones, joints and muscles and tendons, it is drawn by an artist. Unless you know the science, you cannot be a better artist to express what is there. And by seeing these pictures, I think you would have guessed the person who came out with these pictures in the 15th century. Any guess? So, this is flying machine. In 15th century, he, being an artist, he drew this picture. This is helicopter. So, he drew the pictures of biology and he drew the pictures of machinery, right? So, he is an engineer, he is a biologist. Then what is his background? He was a painter. He was, now we call him as artist. But he started his career as a painter who depicted the picture. Later on, he became the sculptor, then an engineer and scientist. He is none other than, it is, and is this real picture? The Last Supper. Last Supper is not the real picture. It is depicted by the person who drew this picture. Everyone knows this picture. Who is this? Mona Lisa. Yaar Mona Lisa oda picture varanjadu? Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was a painter by profession, then sculptor. Through, right, is out of his interest, he became biologist, scientist, engineer, right? So today, whatever we talk about science, everything, right? Science, arts. That's why we often, whenever you enter into any engineering institute, they say STEM. Science, engineering, technology and mathematics. Okay. So that seems to be only mechanical. And whatever the technology, whatever the scientific innovations you come up with, it is not reaching the end user because there is a huge gap, big divide between the end user and science and technology. And how can we narrow down the technology and end user, science and end user? Then IIT Madras, not only in IIT Madras, all leading educational institutions, they change the terminology or focus on STEM into STEAM. What is STEAM? What is STEAM? STEM is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. So they have included arts also. Science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics. So wherever you go, you can find the arts in science, science in art. Any guess? Any guess about this person? Polymath, polyhister. That means a person who is having, right, expertise in multiple discipline and solving one specific problem. பல ஏரியால இருக்கக்கூடிய நாலேஜை கேதர் பண்ணி ஒரு ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் ப்ராப்ளத்தை அட்ரஸ் பண்ற ஒரு பர்சன். அப்போ the moment I set STEAM, what do you mean by STEAM? Don't say science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics. STEAM. Every day you hear the sound from the cooker. Zzz. Which one comes out of the cooker? Right? Steam, when the water is boiled, you get steam. When the water is boiled, okay, so it becomes bigger in 1600 times in volume. So same water, தண்ணியை கொதிக்க வச்சீங்கன்னா ஸ்டீம் ஆச்சுன்னா அது தண்ணி என்ன வால்யூம் இருக்கோ அதை விட 1600 to 700 times வால்யூம் எடுத்துக்கும். So what is the use of steam? Where do we use the steam? எங்கெல்லாம் ஸ்டீம் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம்? சமைக்கிறது யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம். ஃபஸ்ட்டு எங்கே இவர் யார்? ஸ்டீம் என்ஜின் அப்படின்னா யார் ஞாபகம் வருது? ஸ்டீம் என்ஜின் in 18th century ஸ்டீம் என்ஜினை கண்டுபிடிச்சது யாரு? ராபர்ட், I think Robert, I missed his name, Robert, the surname. So you can see the steam here. So why I am telling you steam is that he is a mechanical engineer. Then he got specialized in chemistry. So he combined the mechanics and chemistry, then he came out with the steam, right? And who is he? No. James Watt. Okay. So James Watt, what did he found? No. So I use the term here electrochemical and mechanical. Okay. In our body, we talk about nervous system. In the nervous system, what are the things happening? Can you see the nerve cell? In the nerve cell, there is a polarization and depolarization. So hydrogen ions, the potassium ions and sodium ions are placed inside and outside the cell. So there is an electrical activity you can find. And the electrical activity, right, then the electrical activity is coming in the form of impulse. The impulse creates the mechanical work. So for an example, I am just holding this mic. So my brain sends a signal in the form of chemical, right, information. The chemical takes, right, the electrical signal, sends the electrical signal. The electrical signal in turn creates the mechanical work. So there is an integration of electrical, mechanical and chemical. So no subject, no domain is single domain specific. See, the moment you see the heart, functioning of the heart, electrical activity of the heart. So you cannot say, sir, I am only interested in biology, I am not interested in, right, technology or electronics or electrics. So, can you see what is rotating? What do you perceive? என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க பார்த்தோன்னே? Neuron, nerve cell. So what is the difference between these two? You have nerve cell. Nerve cell conducts the information from brain to the muscles. உங்க பிரெயின்ல இருந்து மசில்ஸுக்கு இன்ஃபர்மேஷனை கடத்திட்டு போறது. Suppose I am jumping, I want to jump. The information go to my muscles, then I jump. So how this information is conducted? Data is transmitted to the muscle. How the muscle can decode the information? What is the speed of the, velocity or speed of the electrical conductivity of the nerve cell? ஒரு nerve cell வந்து எவ்வளவு வேகமா என்ன வேகத்துல இருந்து என்ன வேகம் வரைக்கும் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனை கேதர் பண்ணும், கண்டக்ட் பண்ணும். இப்போ நான் கை தூக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன் இல்லையா, என்ன வேகத்தில், மேக்ஸிமம் வேகத்தில் அது பண்ணும். What is the maximum speed of conduction velocity of your nerve cell? 0.5 meter per second to 120 meters per second. Your nerve cell is capable of conducting or carrying an information, right? That is 120 meters per second. Okay, sir, what? So this is what we discussed about. Do we use the technology? For example, always when we say technology, they come out with the technology and try to solve the problem. This is what we are doing nowadays. The moment people say technology, right, the people who are in either science or engineering, whichever the domain it may be, they get attracted towards technology because technology obviously will attract you, right? So we design the technology, we come out with the technology and try to solve the problem. Is it right? Then what should you do? You should know the purpose. You should know the purpose, because I just saw the introductory message of your Vice Chancellor, SRM Vice Chancellor. He said 4 or 5 components you have released. Whether all these 5, because you are saying that we are combining technology and sports sciences, who took the initiative first? Whether the sports science department asked for some purpose, or the technology department, okay, we are having technology, you want to, right, give you the technology for this. Which happened first? Okay. So the purpose. So you will be successful, the technology will be successful when the technology is designed and developed based on the purpose, right? Based on the purpose. Then becomes the process. Then becomes the process. So, what is the use of technology? Technology nala enna use? Technology, see, it helps us to solve the problem. Previously, we didn't solve the problem, or what? Yes, we used to solve the problem. What is the use of technology? Previous year also we had accuracy. So, second one is the time saving. Time saving. Because you can do anything in shortest possible time. Technology, information technology, right? In educational technology, we say, see, audio visual. Those are the days the teacher used to go and draw on the board before the class starts. Then, what we call is, I used it. We use a slide, we have to sketch it, and not smart board. I forgot the name. OHP sheet, OHP projector. So, overhead projector, that is OHP sheets we call it. So, if the class is tomorrow, we used to take color pencils and buy transparent sheets, and we used to draw and just place it so that it saves my time. Today, think about this presentation. When I prepared this presentation, any guess? Not even night. Today morning 7 o'clock. I just kept some, I was searching for pictures, that's all. The content is mine. So even, that's what, this is science. If the science is delivered in scientific way, then everyone will sleep. The science has to be delivered in an artistic way. If it is an art, the art has to be expressed, and the science in the art has to be extracted. So that is the fact everyone should understand. If you understand and practice, yes, you can reach and you will be visible in the global community. This is decision making, what we say. Okay. Sir, என்ன டாபிக்குக்கும் நீங்க பேசுறதுக்கு சம்பந்தமே இல்லாம இருக்கு. நீங்க என்ன சொன்னீங்க? Okay. Future of sports. Future of sports, valid, affordable and sustained. இல்லையா? The technology for the valid, reliable and affordable sustained growth of sports. We will see. What do you see from this? Because whether you are from computing, whatever, the moment you come to combine with physical education and sports, first one is movement. Movement illam ondume kediyadhu. The heart has to move. Because though you are seated, the heart is moving. Right? Your lungs are moving. Your blood vessels are shrinking and expanding, during your sleep also. If these movements are not happening internally, then something is wrong with you. And can you see the picture on the left? To your right. To my left and to your right. Any one movement which is odd out of the 4. Can you say anything? Can you guess? Not the first picture. First picture is a boy, a middle-aged man, and old man. Cretal. What is the difference you are finding? So, she is a female who is walking like this. Okay, she is a female. Out of the 4 pictures, the 4th one at the bottom is female. And the moment you start walking, who will be the happiest one? The child, when it walks, okay, it will feel happy. Fine. And which is the next stage you will feel happy? No. Which is the next stage will you feel happy when you started walking, when you are able to move? The last stage, without sticks. Okay. So in our life, there are two stages where we feel more happy, right? Without any help. If the child is able to walk, it feels happy. At the elder age, okay. So why should we discuss about this one here? So what are the factors that will change the pattern of gait? Gait is nothing but walking. Everyone will have different pattern of walking, okay? So some people will walk like this, okay? Some people will walk like this. Some people will walk like this, okay? There are, each and every person will have different pattern of walking. Then which is the ideal pattern of walking? Because you cannot play any sport, right, unless you have a right pattern of walking. Because walking is the alphabet of your movement. Sir, I am an Indian player, but I walk like this. How it is possible? So perfect mechanism. Because why I am telling you this is, if your body is able to do any movement with ideal technique, proper technique, it consumes less energy and gives more output, and the possibility of injury is less. எப்போ ஒரு நல்ல பிளேயர் உருவாக்க முடியும் சார்? When can I produce a good player? First one is not performance improvement, not fitness improvement. Only thing is, if you are able to process, right, periodize the player without injury. Injury இல்லாம ஒரு பிளேயர் போயிட்டானாவே முடிஞ்சது. You cannot expect, right? So in this age, வயசானவங்க, குழந்தை, வயசானவங்க, gender, female and male walking pattern is different. Then physique, lean, obese. Then muscle asymmetry. How many of you have done, how many of you have cars? எத்தனை பேர் கார் இருக்கு? After 3 or 4,000 kilometers, what do? Wheel alignment. என்ன பண்றீங்க? Wheel alignment. Why should we do wheel alignment? The car will move even if you don't do wheel alignment. ஏன் wheel alignment பண்ணணும்? What is the reason we should go for wheel alignment? If you don't go for wheel alignment, still the car will run. The fuel consumption will be more and there will be more wear and tear. ஒரு பக்கம் டயர் தெரிஞ்சிட்டே போயிடும். That is machine. That is machine, leave it. What about this human machine? How many of you have tested whether you have proper wheel alignment? That is 4-wheeler, this is 2-wheeler. Okay, that is 4-wheeler, this is 2-wheeler. And each and everybody, for an example, if there is a 2-wheeler, for an example, Yamaha, same weight, same structure, no problem. But we all human beings, do we have same structure? Before marriage, how do we look? Everybody will be like Tamanna and Shah Rukh Khan. Though he is old, I can quote. Still he is fit. But what about the female after marriage? What about the female after marriage? என்னங்க கல்யாணம் ஆனோன்னு என்ன நடக்கும்? They conceive and beget a baby. What about male? They attain permanent pregnancy and never deliver. இல்லையா? So கல்யாணம் ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா see, why I am telling you this quote is, right, as you age, your proportion of the body changes, the walking pattern also may change, the load also may change, not like Yamaha bike, which will remain same. At the same time, I tell you, I'll show you some examples. Neurological disorder, if you have any nerve impact, mood, when you are happy, your walking, your movement pattern will be different. If you are sad, that decides. Pain, then range of motion. See, this is toddler gait. See, the child feels happy the moment it starts walking. Fine, that's what we discussed. But how the child walks? By keeping the hand like this. But do you follow the same pattern as you grow? So perfect, right? Arm swing, your making. So the child grows and see how happily the kid goes. Fine. எந்த கவலையுமே இல்லை. ஐயோ செமஸ்டர் எக்ஸாம் வரப்போகுது, ஐயோ இஎம்ஐ கட்டணும், கிரெடிட் கார்டு பில் கட்டணும், வீட்டுக்காரம்மா சண்டே கூட போய் என்ன இந்த வயசில் நீ படிக்கிற அப்படின்னு சொல்லி என்னது செல்லப்பாவை திட்டலாம் வீட்டில். ஓகே, see, she is a college going girl, say Department of Physical Education and Sports or Computing, one girl is there. So the moment the girl is seen by a boy, how he feels. Okay, so the moment is because Yamaha bike doesn't know who is Tamanna, who is Katrina Kaif, but this knows, right, who is who. The moment, right, the boy sees a girl and he feels happy and see his pattern of walking, movement, and they befriended, and after some time what happens? They complete the courses and the girl goes and gets married to somebody. See the same boy status. Oh, so same boy, right? How he walks. So your mood changes. Now, what do you understand from this presentation? Don't say that when we know each other, when the girl gets married to somebody, the boy becomes sad. Don't come with the statement. What do you understand? What is the analogy? What is the takeaway from this presentation? Department of Computing, you are only seeing the numbers. The numbers are not same with regard to this same person, and it varies from one person to the other. When the same person goes for 6 deliveries of bowling, right, and same match, and every match he cannot perform well. Today morning he spoke with his girlfriend and she, right, wished him, then he is performing well. The second day there is a misunderstanding and she did not call him. How about his performance? Same thing happens. Today, for an example, all are mid 30 and 40, right? So your wife gave you the, right, what I would say is water bottle, and she prepared. ஏங்க சண்டே போய் படிக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க, அறிவு வளர்த்துக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க, சந்தோஷமாக போயிட்டு வாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அனுப்பியிருந்தா, how you will feel? Same. Don't say that you are saying only about male. Okay, so it is you have to apply on the reverse side also. Okay, so whenever you integrate the computing and human performance, there is a difference between the machine and human machine. The machine and human machine, the human machine behaves differently according to the environment, situation, mood state, fitness level, and there are so many factors. So these factors has to be taken into consideration when you are designing or when you are going for an algorithm. That's what we would like to say. See, gait and weight, that's what we discussed already. So what do you understand from this? So Siva is appointed as the head of the department right from today. Okay, how will he come? Right? So உங்களுக்கு கீழே ஒரு 15 பேர் வேலை பார்க்குறாங்க அப்படின்னா SRM-க்குள்ள அப்படி வர்றீங்க அப்படின்னா எப்படி இருப்பீங்க? So that's what your attitude, the attitude also changes your movement. So that's what I would like to tell you. And this is typical Indian citizen after 6 o'clock. Okay, so what do you understand from this? Right from the child was trying to walk, the elderly person trying to walk. What do you need to walk? What do you need to walk? What is the primary factor for walking? என்ன வேணும்? Perfect walking க்கு என்னங்க வேணும்? Balance தான். So you need physical balance as well as mental balance. So Yamaha bike doesn't need mental balance where it needs only the physical balance. But this human bike needs both physical as well as mental balance. Think about an SRM University volleyball player when the point is, right, tying and the last point she is going to serve. Jump serve. How many of you will feel comfortable in tossing the ball and hitting? அப்பா கடவுளே நெட்டில் அடிச்சிடக்கூடாது, வெளியில் அடிச்சிடக்கூடாது, ஆண்டவா இருக்கிற எல்லா கடவுளையும் வேண்டிட்டு அடிப்பீங்க இல்லையா? So how many years you played, how many times you served the same ball, but what tells you? கொஞ்சம் சில பேர் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, see, I played hockey, right? So we end up always, most of the time we end up in tiebreaker. So during the practice sessions, no, on some of the guys will come and shoot the ball. See, அந்த காணல போடுவேன், இந்த காணல போடுவேன். So the moment the game is tied, we are supposed to give the first 5 names. The coach will call, hey, who are all going to push? யாரையும் பார்க்கவே முடியாது, ஒருத்த பின்னாடி ஒருத்தன் ஒளிஞ்சுக்குவான். Okay, do you understand what I am saying? Who is going to be the first person? சார் நான் போடல சார், அவன் போடுவான் சார். Do you understand? So then why technology is needed, as ma'am said? Technology is needed. First thing is it reduces the time frame to carry out any activity. Within the shortest span of time you can complete any activity. More number of work can be done in shortest possible time. Second comes accuracy. So don't say that every technology will give you accurate information. The ideal technology, the right technology, the validated technology, the objective technology, the reliable technology, right, can give you the accurate measurement. How do you accurately say? So you are having smartwatch, it gives you the data. How do you validate? Sir, what is the time, sir? Okay. So anybody can say, what is the time, sir? 11:37, 11:40, 11:38, 11:38, 37, 38, 40. Okay, thank you. Okay. I think சரியா பேசலைன்னா முன்னாடி அனுப்பிச்சிருவாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இல்லை நீங்கள் முடிச்சிருங்கன்னு சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காரான்னு தெரியல. ஓகே, ஃபைன். ஸோ which is the correct time? Watch should supposed to show the time. Whatever the time may be, right? Whether it is a digital watch or what you say, smart watch, right? Then your analog watch, whatever. Which is the right time? How do you say which watch shows the right time? எப்படி சொல்லுவீங்க? Say for an example, Rajkumar sir is strict in examination invigilation. He is having a wall clock which is showing, right, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock the exam starts. You are supposed to be in the examination hall by 10 o'clock. The student rushes and comes. By the time the student enters, right, it is 10:05. Rajkumar says 10:05, you are not supposed to enter. Stay away. I cannot permit you inside the hall. You say, sir, see, sir, 9:58 only. Well ahead of the time I have come. Then which is valid? How will you establish the validity of either Rajkumar sir's watch or the student's watch? How? எப்படிங்க கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க? ஐடியல் டைம் எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க? Which is the reference? Railway time. So whenever, see, nobody can question. Julius Caesar's wife is beyond suspicion. There is one saying in Christianity. Okay. Similarly, railway time is already validated one, already established. Nobody can question. Because it is scientifically authenticated, validated. So you refer with that. What is the reference for your smartwatch or whatever wearable sensor, whatever the tool you design, that will give you some garbage of information. How can you say it is accurate? Do you understand? So the technology is facing such type of inaccuracies where whenever you come out with certain technology, you need to validate it. Fine. So why I am telling you this is, see this picture. Next time நீங்க கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் நடத்தும் போது பெரிய ஸ்கிரீனா வைங்க, எனக்கு ஸ்லைட்ஸ் ஆர்டர் கொடுத்துருங்க. ஓகே, 2 things I need because I thought that it is in auditorium. நான் அங்க இருந்தது நினைச்சேன், சாரி. ஸோ என்ன அப்படின்னா இங்கேயுமே பண்ணலாம், நோ ப்ராப்ளம். திஸ் இஸ் நைஸ் வால். நான் போன ஒரு 7-8 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி வந்தோட சூப்பராக வச்சுருக்கீங்க. முன்னாடி மரம்லாம் இருக்குது. இட்ஸ் ஃபைன். ஐ எம் ஹாப்பி. பட் இது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய ரொம்ப சின்ன விஷயந்தான். ஏன்னா எஸ்ஆர்எம் மாதிரி பணக்கார இல்லையா, பணக்கார இடம், மல்டி crorepati. ஸோ எதுக்கு சொல்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா, see if this is seen here, that is easy for me to convey. So what do you understand from this? ஸோ நான் இன்னைக்கு 2024 போகணும்னு நினச்சேன், பட் certain videos I did not upload because it is copyrighted. IOC immediately deletes YouTube videos. So can you see the 2020 Olympics, right? 100-meter finals. What is the difference in performance between first place, second place, third place and fourth place? It is less than 1%. Less than 1%. So if you are using any technology, the technology should be very precise. Very precise. Right? So that's why even the floor cleaner, when they advertise, it kills 99.9% of the jumps. Do you understand? So, coming to... So what do you understand from this picture? இந்த பிக்சர்ல இருந்து என்ன கெஸ் பண்றீங்க? அந்த பிக்சர் பார்த்தோன்னா என்ன கெஸ் பண்றீங்க? ட்ரெட்மில். ஓகே, ட்ரெட்மில். I want to check when a player gets tired, maybe a hockey player or football player, I can keep on changing the speed of the treadmill. Because in football, hockey, they used to accelerate, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, right? See, some of the movements they do turning action also. Here they cannot do it. But speeding up, slowing down, you can see he is having perfect technique. A football player is having perfect technique of running. But after 20 minutes of running, what happens? His technique goes like this. He is running like this. Why? Exhaustion of energy. What is that? Exhaustion of energy. Because the energy, right, exhaustion leads to poor mechanics. If you are having poor mechanics means improper form of running that consumes more amount of energy. Do you understand? Two things are there. Fine. So, sir, எதுக்கு சார் எங்களுக்கு வந்து இதை சொல்றீங்க? Say for an example, Department of Sports Science and Computing is going to buy one treadmill to this SRM lab or whatever, Sports Science Center. What is the maximum speed treadmill you can buy? 20 kilometers per hour? Okay. Then, a football player at university level, he runs at the maximum speed of 35 kilometers to 38 kilometers per hour. Usain Bolt average speed is 44 kilometers, maximum speed is 44 kilometers per hour. Then when we buy a treadmill which is 20 kilometers per hour, what is the use of it? Do you understand? So, that's what I told you, purpose. எந்த பர்பஸ்க்காக நாங்கள் வாங்க போகிறோம்? See, 20 kilometers per hour you can go for common population who is going for walking and recreational running. Those population can be assessed on this treadmill. Fine. So there is a difference in jogging, running, sprinting, right? And then you can see the different forces acting on it. Fine. Now, coming to the specific topic, technology. Can anyone take a picture? Suresh Wanga. Who is taller? Suresh. Can you take a picture, please? Because you are using computer vision, no? There is one depth camera, you say. Different cameras you are using. This is video camera. You have taken, right? So, Suresh, எனக்கு வந்து ஒரு பின்னாடி ஒரு 10 ஸ்டெப் பின்னாடி இல்லைங்க. Now you take a picture. Who is taller according to the picture? Yeah. According to the second picture.
According to the second picture, it's Mr. Rajani Pali.
Rajani is taller. So, you are going to have an image and come to a conclusion, Rajani is taller than Suresh. Can you come to a conclusion? Right. So, the machine, yes, so the machine cannot give you all the information. Like a Google map. Google map, okay. Google map, it's a guidance. I don't say that you don't follow Google map. Follow the Google map, but use your, right? So, you say camera. See, because why I am telling you this is, sir, how you are able to say, I started my career as a player, I know. What a professional player cannot be given what he needs during his, right, peak period. Or professional hostel, the best hostel, then I became a sports science learner, teacher, lecturer, coach. Then PE and sports science history start பண்ணி எங்க வந்தோம் இங்க இருந்து திடீர்னு பார்த்தா அங்க போய் இன்டர்டிசிப்ளினரின்ட்டாங்க. பயாலஜி படிக்கணும், பிசிக்ஸ் படிக்கணும், மேத்ஸ் படிக்கணும், அப்புறம் இந்த மூணையும் படிச்சுட்டு இந்த கம்ப்யூட்டர் இல்லாமல் எதுவுமே பண்ண முடியாது, அதையும் கொண்டு வந்து சேர்க்கணும். ஓகே, அப்போ எனக்கு புரிஞ்சிருச்சு. ஐ ஹவ் அண்டர்ஸ்டுட் த கான்செப்ட், ஹவு டு மேக் த பீப்புள் ஹூ ஆர் சீட்டட் ஆப்போசிட் டு மீ டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ரைட். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் அ பாஸ்கெட் பால். ஸோ நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்களே ஆப் சொன்னீங்க இல்லையா, ட்ரஜெக்டரி. ஸோ the ball is here. I just release the ball. The releasing angle and trajectory varies from distance between the object, that means player, and the basket. The distance between the player and the angle of the basket. Hope you will understand, right? You agree? All the basketball players agree. Fine. So, for example, if I am releasing the ball with more speed, the camera tracks the ball only 30 frames per second. What is that? 30 frames per second. What is the disadvantage we have? In the first frame, the ball will be here. Then the second frame, the ball will be here. What happened between these two frames? I do not know. So what should you do? You have to increase the frame rate. Fine. 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second. Fine. What about a cricket bowler who is bowling? What is the speed of the ball? What about the tennis player? See, why I am telling you this is, we used to have 30 FPS camera during our initial stage and go and shoot the tennis serve. So the ball, the video will have blurred image and we will have 2-3 balls in one sequence. We are not able to identify which is the real ball. Do you understand? But thanks to the technology, thanks to the advancement of the technology, because the